Hey guys, it's Michelle with Morristown TV today, and I am so tickled to formally introduce you to the new director at the Morristown Parks and Rec Department. This is Travis. Travis, it is so nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too.
Well, and I know because we've covered stuff with Morristown Parks and Rec for a long time, and I know this time of year is super duper busy for you guys. So thank you for taking time to come and talk to me. So let's mention just briefly where we are.
We're at the new Jolley Park.
And everybody loves the new Jolley Park. We just haven't had a time yet to really be able to highlight it. So, beautiful day, 1st of October. I said, let's just do it.
Yes. Well, I guess it grand opening was in July, and it was donated by the Jolley family, and then the city and them came together to help, turn it into what it is now. So it's maintained by the Parks and Rec Department and monitored, just to make sure everybody's behaving and enjoying it as it was intended.
Yes. So does it, as far as hours, does it kind of correspond with the other parks that are governed by the Parks and Rec Department?
Yes, ma'am. It's just dawn to dusk like everyone else, and then it's monitored at night by video cameras for security. So we, protect such a valuable asset.
And it definitely is. Everybody loves it here. Well, let me ask you this, because I know like at Fred Miller Park and some other places, if you want to do like birthdays or parties, you can secure those pavilions. Is there a chance to do things like that here?
Yes, ma'am. All the pavilions in there are for rent too. You just, call our office or go online and book the facility, and you can have it for your party.
Well, and I think there's something we should probably clear up. I know at the beginning when it was first announced about Jolley Park, it referenced the fact that it was for special needs kids, and kudos to the Jolley family for doing that. But it's not just for special needs, correct?
Correct. It's just accessible. There are activities in there catered to them. In some areas, I guess instead of a bridge, there's a ramp. There's things they can access, from a chair. And the whole place is with poured in place material is what the ground is made of. So it's really soft if you fall.
And not to mention, I guess, if there's issues with kids who may be in wheelchairs, right?
Yep. It's totally made to that, and it's even referenced on the sign up there on top.
Well, I'm facing the sun. I'm not able to look up and see it. So, we'll actually go through the park in a bit, if that's okay, and we'll let you guys, if you're like me, this is the first time I've had a chance to be here. So if you want to see some of the unbelievable aspects of this park, we'll go through and give you a tour. What do you think?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Stay tuned, and we're going to take a walk through the park. Hey guys, it's Michelle again with Morristown TV today, and I promised you a walk through the park, but I also referenced this time of year how busy Travis is. Well, guess what? He got busy, but you know what? That's okay because Frankie has stepped in, so it will be Frankie and I taking a tour of the park. Come on, young lady, let's talk about this park.
Let's do it.
And surprisingly, this is the first time I've been here, so tell me, what exactly are we looking at?
This main section here is for kids ages 5 to 12. There's 3 stories of interactive games for kids to play. It is the first 2 levels are wheelchair accessible, and there's just so much as if you look at it. There's 4 really big slides, a few small slides, and then a lot of climbing equipment there in the middle.
Well, and what exactly, and looking at this equipment compared to playgrounds that I played on back in the dark ages, I don't see any slides that are going to burn little legs and little hands and little arms. So what kind of, is this made out of plastic?
It is a composite material, but it does get hot as well. Not quite as hot as those old-fashioned metal slides that were out in the sun. But the one thing that really stands out is the poured and played surface, because once you come off of any of this equipment, that's a very padded surface.
Well, and Travis and I referenced earlier, too, that's going to be really good in case there are children in wheelchairs, correct?
It is. It's a lot easier for them to maneuver around.
Well, let's walk a little bit. Let's go over this way. Well, let me ask you this. As we're walking, do you have a policy? Are kids asked to remove their shoes, or does it really matter?
No, as a matter of fact, they are asked to keep their shoes on because the surface will get hot with the sun. But the only thing about this surface is we ask that you don't bring anything sticky on it, whether it be soft drinks or candy or anything like that.
So basically keep the food outside of the gates?
keep the food outside the gates. I think Travis told you about the pavilions. We have plenty of areas for people to picnic and have food. Once they come into the playground area, we'd like for them to leave their food behind and just, climb. And as you can look over, and you may even want to try out one of the slides or maybe some of the climbing ropes. But
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
No, because there's not a standby ambulance, because there would be broken arms and legs for me. So no, we'll just enjoy watching the kids. Well, let's go down this way. And is this a zip line? Am I looking at a zip line?
It is. Basically, there's two types of zip line. There's one for as you can see, they have one that you can sit on or stand on, and then the other one is specifically for sitting in.
There's not like an age limit. You don't recommend children less than 3 don't come and play. I mean, this is geared towards everybody, young and old alike, right?
Actually, we do have, we recommend ages 5 and older to be on this middle section just because of the steepness of the slides and some of the climbing equipment. Little smaller children can't step as far, and so there's bigger gaps for them. The zip lines are for all ages, but we do have a section that is for ages 2 to 5 that we'll go through.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, where shall we venture off to now? This is just a beautiful park. And again, I know the Jolley family, they're the driving force behind this. Do you know off the top of your head who came up with the layout and the design of the park?
Actually, the layout was a combination of several Parks and Rec staff and some special needs teachers, and the Jolley family themselves. They looked through catalogs and picked out the equipment that they thought would be best suited for our community.
Well, I tell you what, this park, and aside from the Jolley family themselves, this park has been an absolute blessing to so many people. And aside from all the fun things to do, it's a beautiful park. It really is. The landscape. Who maintains the landscape?
The Parks and Rec Department maintains landscape, and of course all of the city staff help out when needed on any of the repairs or anything like that.
Even as far as mowing and things like that?
Yes, our parks crew takes care of that.
See, we always talk about how awesome the Marshtown Parks and Rec Department, and I say that not just because you're here, and when I talk to Travis again, I'll remind him that that's how everybody thinks, but seriously, you guys do so many wonderful things for this community. So I know, again, we referenced preferably keeping food outside and things, but these picnic tables are more so if somebody reserves it for a little party, correct?
They can be reserved, or if there's not a reserve sign posted, then anyone can use them. We have 3 small ones, similar to this one here, and then we have one larger one. The smaller ones seat about 24 people at their picnic tables, and the larger one seats about 60.
And same thing, they look like they're made of that really cool material that's going to be easy to clean and easy to maintain.
They are, and gives you a shade when needed, and a place to park your drinks and candy and all that good stuff. Here is a really neat aspect of the playground with all of the climbing apparatus and the different stools, stepping pods.
Help with balance and coordination, right?
Yeah. A little climbing wall, and so you can see here, as I was referring to, this section being better for the older kids. They would have to step further for the pods and the climbing, and then we will walk on over to the smaller area so you can see the ones that are built closer steps for the younger children.
Well, you knew this. I've got a great grandbaby, and I know she's been here. Her mom and dad have brought her, and of course they took pictures. Nana saw the pictures, but it's just, again, it is so unique. Like I mentioned, the way the park is laid out, and something that I've noticed since we've been here. I mean, there are quite a few people here, but everybody is so calm, and they're just so happy. I mean, everybody is just enjoying all that. Now look at this. This is just adorable. I would like to do that, but I don't think. Can I really, Frankie?
Yes, you can. You can get in. That's kind of taken the place of the old school teeter-totter.
The wooden ones that you walked off with the big splinters, right?
Or try to flip someone the other direction.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Notice a climbing pod over on that side. I do want to point out as we get on around the musical instruments in the park. There are a lot of different pieces of equipment that they can interact with color and sound, letters, numbers, and so it gives them a lot of different games that they can play as educational at the same time.
So they're learning, but they don't realize it.
Yes.
Having fun and learning at the same time.
And then next we're coming up on, this is the section that is for the smaller children. This is for ages 2 to 5. As you will notice, the steps are smaller, the climbing areas are smaller, the little what we called monkey bars back in the day. And so this is the section that is recommended for the younger children.
You know, and again, I know this, I'm assuming again, this is like recycled material, is it not?
It is recycled.
Oh, it's so squishy.
Feel the difference in thinking of falling on this, even as opposed to wood chips or any
Gravel.
Gravel, yes.
Oh, this is wonderful. And again, like we talked about, it would be really easy as far as, you know, children maybe on crutches or wheelchairs or walkers of some sort, right?
Anyone that has any difficulties in maneuvering would be able to maneuver on this equipment a lot easier, and the surfacing as well.
Well, let me ask you this. I'm just curious. I mean, and I don't know if there's even any way to gauge this, but since the park has been open, do you have any idea how many people have been through these gates?
Oh my goodness, that would be, what's the population of Morristown?
Oh gosh, don't ask me a math question. A lot.
We have had a lot. And as you can see, today is midday. School has just been released, and you have a pretty good number here. On the weekends, you can multiply this quite a bit.
Oh, I bet, especially a beautiful weekend.
Yes. And Michelle, as we walk around, I do want to point out the beautiful murals that the Jolley family had painted on our restroom facilities. The kids have a lot of fun with that. And
photo opportunities, right?
Most definitely. And then right outside the restrooms are some of the musical instruments that I wanted to point out. And they have a lot of fun with that. And when I say the kids have a lot of fun with it, it's kids of all ages.
Big, tall kids, too. Old kids that are in their 50s and such, right?
Exactly.
Well, let me ask you this. I know school's still ongoing, so have kids come here like as school outings or maybe as little mini field trips? Have you seen that happen yet?
We sure have. During the summer, we opened June 4th, and when we opened, we started booking summer programs. So they came as groups as summer programs, and we've already had quite a few school groups come since school has started, anywhere from Head Start groups to all of the elementary and intermediate schools.
Okay, so let's talk about this, which looks like it would be very loud. Oh, it has little doolollies to use. You can tell I'm not musical. I don't know what a doololly should be called.
Try the doololly.
Okay, here we go. Oh, see, these kids could. Oh, wow. It's kind of like an old church bell or something.
They're really neat, and the kids love to make different sounds.
And it just keeps going and going. Wow.
And we have a few more instruments here. You actually can try your hand at any type of music, and then you can also see over in this direction all of the interactive numbers and letters, including Braille.
Wow.
So that makes it just one more piece of accessible equipment.
So again, this is a park for all people, all ages, all abilities. This is just absolutely wonderful. And again, kudos to the Jolley family for having the foresight to do this. I can't remember exactly. I'm sure I may have read it somewhere. Where did they come up with the idea of doing this in Gene's honor?
Actually, Gene had the idea.
Really?
He visited a park over in South Carolina and saw an inclusive park. And when he saw that, he said, Morristown needs it. And that was his dream, and the family couldn't think of anything better to share his memory as into what he would like to have here in Morristown.
Well, I have no doubt that when he looks down from heaven, he's got a big smile on his face.
He has to, and especially when Miss Jolley comes in the park because she enjoys some of the equipment. She even got us on the zip line when she was here.
Oh, well, she's a fun young lady. I wouldn't be surprised at all by that. Well, again, Frankie, I appreciate you taking time to walk around with me. I know we may come across Travis here in a little bit, but like he and I were talking about, this time of year, there is just so much that you guys have ongoing. So hopefully, Will, is there anything else you want to point out about the park?
I think we've pretty much covered it. As we walked around, you probably saw the items that looked like boxes, and that was a tribute to Lakeway Container, which is the Jolley family's company, and that was a little special prize that was added to the park when they were designing it. But other than that, we just invite all of the community to come in and enjoy it, enjoy Gene's dream and
His legacy.
That's exactly right. Yes.
Well, and one thing I just thought of, let's talk a little bit about the parking. I know when I came in, guess what I did? I went to the wrong place, and it's like, wait, I can't park here. So let's tell people how to get into the park. Where can you leave your cars?
When you come in off from Morse Boulevard onto Jackson Street, that first entrance is a bus only. It makes it easy for buses to pull through, so we ask that no one parks there.
I didn't. I kept going.
It's a good thing. And then if you make a right on Pleasant, you will see our main parking lot where you eventually got to. And there's parking there, and then there's also parking across from Pleasant. Calvary Church is very friendly and allows us to park there as well.
That's wonderful. And I have no doubt there's times when that parking lot is packed. But, even though Jolley Park is up and running, Fred Miller Park, which is just right across the street, there are still lots and lots of fun things to do there, right?
There are. We've got walking trails, playgrounds, splash pads. I probably couldn't name all the amenities that are in Fred Miller, but it is always hopping.
Everybody's always loved Fred Miller. Frankie, it's good to see you, and thank you so much for stepping in to take me for a stroll around this absolutely gorgeous park. So, yay to you, for you and everybody at the Marshtown Parks and Rec for what you guys do, because and I say this with all sincerity, you guys are a blessing to this community. You do a lot, and you guys are appreciated. I hope you know that.
Well, thank you.
You are more than welcome. And I guess I'm going to look around and see if I can track down Travis, and maybe he can give us a rundown of some of the things happening in October. So, Frankie, you take care, and I will see you around somewhere.
Thank you.
All right, honey, take care. Guys, hang out with me, and I'm going to see if I can track down Travis, and we're going to give you an update on everything the Marshtown Parks and Rec is doing in the month of October. Stay tuned.